Hello, it's your boy from 1996. Welcome back to another episode of Low Standards. In this episode, we'll be tackling a game I play a lot on my phone. I haven't played it in a long time, per se, but I will play it now, and that is, of course, if I can get to it, drum roll. Where's the drum roll? Now what? Which is, of course, the PSP classic Dynasty Warriors Vol.2. This is a game, this is a sub-series of Dynasty Warriors games, merely to try something new and also try to get it onto the PSP, because that was some real hot shit that Sony was making. But yeah, this takes the aesthetics of Dynasty Warriors 5 and basically makes it into more of a mission-based kind of game rather than following a certain character's perspective of the story. Rather than follow there, you play one of the characters and then you go through each of the stories. I think I'm already starting on one, so we're gonna go ahead and load that up. I think it's Juge Leon, and we're doing a battle. We have. Oh wait, never mind. We just finished this. I just finished this last time I played this game. What a great way to start things off. Damn it. Playing. Wait, is Bedrock? Let's see here. Actually, I can just put on my earphones. Let's see. But yeah, this game is great. I think. Let's see. Let's try Wu. I need to go ahead and try to. Well, I think all characters have access to the same mission thing. Let's see if you do a character I haven't done yet. Let's go with Sensei for this one. Let's go normal. Ooh, cool. We're gonna go with. Oh, there's actually a split with this one because I did Yellow Turban Rebellion only in the shoe side, so now we have Wu to work with. We're now getting it from their perspective. So if I do any of the following victory options, then I'll be able to access a new portion of the Wu timeline. I think that's what it is. It's a charter that shows all the battles that Wu takes place within their timeline of the romanticized version of certain events during the late Han. Did I just accidentally press out? Oops. What's cool about this game is that you can get certain officers to work with, and you can unlock playable officers or regular officers to fight alongside you. But what I found interesting while playing through the game is that you can unlock officers in the Samurai Warriors series. However, but unfortunately, I only have two particular characters to work with, one character to work with from that series, being Genshio Tachibana. I've tried looking online on how to unlock the other characters, which I've actually found some of them, like Yukimura or Hideyoshi, but I haven't unlocked them yet. I'm assuming I need to use the capture ability that certain officers have when they're fighting for you. Let's go with promotions. We'll have Roll High from Jin, who's the one that goes cops. Excuse me, sir. But I feel funny looking at these characters because I know what their fates are in later Dynasty Warriors. Back then when I was playing 3, it's so weird looking at older officers I'm always familiar with, but didn't had that weren't playable at the time, especially for characters like Zhou-Tai. When I saw him being a generic in 3, it's like, that's an eye-opener for me. Let's go with the capture base one. There are usually two objectives you gotta do per each battle. Either you have to go ahead and... I forgot to equip a horse. Fuck it. We'll go horseless this round. In this game, it's a lot more different from, it's actually, never mind. It's a little similar to the Game Boy Advance game, where you have to advance your character to each area and put out the enemy troop areas. Unlike Dynasty Warriors Advance, you have to specifically clear out the area that becomes like friendly for your character. Also, you're doing this with the actual army, as opposed to the Advance game, where you specifically only have yourself to work with. It's similar properties. You move by a grid map rather than moving open field like the actual series, like the main series usually does. Since this is based on Dynasty Warriors 5, they have all the voice clips from Dynasty Warriors 5. But I think with this game, it's I'm uncertain if they use the voice actors for the spin-off stuff from Dynasty Warriors 5, rather than the actors they had for Dynasty Warriors, in the later Dynasty Warriors games like Empires and Extreme Legends. Stuff like, for instance, let's see. Damn it, I always like got lost in thought with what I was thinking. Things like Steve Bloom not voicing Sun Jian or Xiao Yuan or Sun Jian. Oh no, it's Sun Jian. I'm trying to remember how they correctly spelled it, since they basically spelled the names a lot more accurately in the English dubs for the later Dynasty Warriors games, I think starting with 6 in particular. Which is ironic, because 6 is like the one departure that I think many fans say is the worst, because it's just the changes they've done to the overall gameplay. Yeah, adding a new faction, which is pretty cool, and having like having a lot more characters in the process. I was really upset beginning with Dynasty Warriors 6. And then I got even more confused when they did Dynasty Warriors Strike Force, which is even a more ridiculous version. Strike Force is weird, because it's like if you mix Dynasty Warriors with fucking Dragon Ball Z. Because that's all I can think of looking at the designs of that game, and the boss battles. Not bosses with certain playable units, well, mostly seen as bosses in the game, but legit Monster Hunter fucking boss battles. I say this because you end up fighting certain things, like fighting fucking the stone guardian of the Shishui Gate, and all the symbols of each of the 3 kingdoms, except for Jin, which is, I think this later way, like halfway through the portion of the later Han War. But, yeah, just fighting a giant tiger, which is the symbolization of Wu, a giant dragon for Shu, and a giant, is it Phoenix? I think it's a Phoenix for, Wei. It's not like a peacock. I think peacock makes sense. Phoenix makes sense, but I think it's a peacock by color. Alright, and this shit. I went to the wrong area. I'm sure you'll never forget. I think you'll never forget that dialogue that much. You know, I'll just ask about the whole thing after I know this episode, rather than having to ask what Dante's doing right now. This game's pretty good. But like on the PSP, if I had this on my physical PSP, I would play it. But if you're wondering, oh yeah, I do have a PSP. I think I've actually done some episodes on there with its wire. Wait, no, just keep playing the game. I think I have the wire, but I get to record anything from the PSP prior to receiving the wire before I started the series on YouTube. I do at least have some proof that I have a PSP because of the replays of the city I posted years ago. Alright, what's great about this game is that the way you fight is a little bit interesting. Rather than just killing units, eventually getting to the end, you have to kill a certain amount of units to clear the area. That way you can go ahead and advance to the next area. However, whenever an officer is in the area, you have to kill the officer first before you can progress and end the thing. Even if if the unit bar is empty on the enemy side, you still need to eliminate the officer to actually progress. Well, I'm gonna do at least 2 of these because I think it's how long the video link can work with. If not, we'll just do like one. One could be good enough because we're doing like the most notorious battle of them all, which is of course the Yellow Turban Rebellion. Whenever I think of the Yellow Turbans, I usually think of Dynasty Warriors. Apparently, I found another game that uses them in some way. Them being enemies, of course, and that's Sega's Golden Gun, a game that reuses like a lot of sound and graphics assets from House of the Dead 4. In fact, certain of the Chinese zombie units you fight in that game, and you shoot at that game, actually uses certain zombie grunts from the regular zombies from House of the Dead 4. They just made it because they wanted to use the engine more, since they just made it. Alright, I got rid of C. I don't remember his full name because I don't think I faced this officer when I played Dynasty Warriors 5. Yuan Shi. I think we know P Yuan Xiao is Hey Yuan Xiao. But I remember that name as one of the officers that is in Zhang Jiao's rebellion during the first level. I think they were also like in Dynasty Warriors. Well, they're not all Dynasty Warriors games. Just that I feel a lot more. I noticed them a lot more playing 5 the most. Alright, I'm gonna go hit the other side, deal with that base, because that fortress area is probably gonna stun all the enemy officers I just defeated, which I can see right now. Plus, I feel it's a more easier turnaround than having to grind my way through the other the spaces we don't own. Liu P is here. I think it's supposed to be Liu Pei. I don't actually know how to spell correctly. I don't want to be offensive because I'm one of those guys who play Dynasty Warriors, know about the new games. In fact, we played a few of them, which I might do an episode on because of some of its features. Like Dynasty Warriors 8, with its features of getting custom officers from online. It's great because some of them are just flat out ridiculous. I love it. But I mostly associate myself. Oh yeah, it's still Steve Bloom with the fighting voice clips. Sure, what I say now. But in more modern Dynasty Warriors games, I don't know the pronunciation of certain characters now with the holidays because I never played this game. It's just, you know, I prefer the older Dynasty Warriors games. But I'm still one of those people who refers to Cao Cao as Cao Cao because that's just how it was when I grew up. Once I felt like it made sense for the words. You know, it's just incredibly insulting, and I realized that's how much bad it is just saying it out loud. I don't know. I'm still gonna call him Cao Cao. Plus, more funny, well, the way you explain it is actually gives him more of an intimidation. It's kind of like, shit. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just being a little bit mean. It's whatever. Oh, they were right here? Really? Alright, we got rid of the stronghold, which means they'll have to, strongholds in this game usually are used to spawn officers if they are defeated in battle. The closer the stronghold, the more easier it is for them to get back, which usually takes a little long. I don't think it applies to you, though. You're the only officer in the army that cannot be brought in from a stronghold. When you die, you die. So I put a donkey there. Alright, I'm just going to speed that up because it takes long just to do that. In this, I think I've already explained before, which I did in the start of the battle. There are 2 objectives you can complete in order to beat the level, and beating either of them will split the path of where you're heading to in the grid of the battles you take place in. I don't think I ever did the one where I have to, the objective here where I have to capture all the altars rather than defeating Zhang Jiao. I mostly focus on defeating Zhang Jiao because, you know, it's always a more satisfying factor to defeat the boss. One of them is kind of hard. I realize that the PSP version is a lot more easier, except for me, who's not really good sometimes with timing. But, in the battle in Hulao Gate or Sishui Gate, you have to either defeat Bang Zhuo or Lu Bu, and I usually just go for Lu Bu. I mean, fucking Lu Bu, you might as well try. I think I beat him the first time playing this. Honestly, I wish I had this then rather than Advanced, because this would be a lot more fun to play portably. Or at least I can play it now these days, after fighting it, and finding a tablet that could run it well. I tried this out on one of my older tablets and it lagged. It lagged like the freaking madman. I think I will only be able to do at least one level because given the time here, the time my Olympus camera can take, so I might as well go with this one only. This is a good start. I could try doing like more than this if I had not stopped for a second to watch John's Extreme, which is on my novel record. Alright, I could also just speed things up. I probably should have done that. Just speed things up rather than waiting. I could also speed up combat, but that'd be hard to work with because I'd be really good at my reflexes to know what attack to go next and press it rapidly rather than, you know, like in succession. A strange thing this game though does, and all Dynasty Warrior 5 games, is that when you get a new weapon, you get a new set in your moveset. Unlike Samurai Warriors, where you actually progress and level it up, and it's not your weapon that levels your attacks up, but for your progress playing through the game. It's weird. Like you're only limited to a 4-button combo by using your standard attack rather than progressively getting more. You have to unfortunately progress more by getting stronger weapons, which is usually a rarity up at the time. You might be lucky to get a weapon of higher grade, which a higher grade weapon basically, you know, adds more to your shit. Alright, so both of the Zhang brothers have just came out. I assure you, you'll never forget our strength after this battle. My influence says. Here that is after this. I don't know. I don't care. I tried to do Yuri Lowenthal. I do miss him though. What's worse, not worse, but what's not great about the newest game, in my opinion, is of course that I think the entire cast of English cast for the game up until 8 were removed. And as such, any person who has been voicing their characters to 4 even, actually, you know, I think most actors are still retaining from particularly 5 in specifics. Because I think a lot of the 4 actors left after the first 5 game. After the base 5 game. The 5 Dynasty Warriors 5 base game. There we go. Fuck me, I can't words. Then again, none of the voice actors from 3 stayed, much less much less 4, there we go. That's kind of unfortunate because what they replaced in terms of English voice actors for 9 was considered even worse than 3's voice actors, and that's funny to me. Somehow the newest generation of Dynasty Warriors failed both critically, like, in, I think it was not that much of a, I think it was a sales hit, but in terms of fan reception, it was considered, like, the worst. I always find it funny how the newest installment basically goes back to a certain point period that they had to struggle with until 4, where 3 had like the most hilarious voice acting, and it was bad, but it was funny. But the problem with 9 is that it's bad and it's and it's not funny, and that's unfortunate because it's now like the most recent Dynasty Warriors game, which means it has the most roster in the game, adding more new units that were originally generics in prior games but couldn't appear because I don't think they have female generics until later games. But I think do they have female generics in like the base game rather than Empires? I'm uncertain if they do. I need to look that up because I know there's female generics in Samurai Warriors 4 Empires. It's just it's kind of unfortunate that that has the biggest roster now, besides of course the Warriors Orochi games. But it's now like highly just not good. I mean, technically, what's even more interesting is that since this is since we went a little odd with the numbering because the first Dynasty Warriors game of the international release is not even the actual first game. That game over there is technically the 8th game in the franchise, while we have was essentially which is 9 here. I think in other areas too. I think Japan is the only one who didn't actually receive the original Dynasty, originally named Dynasty Warriors, which is like way different from this game. Instead of a hack and slash, it's a beat 'em up. But yet it still retains the same fighting styles as the actual characters from that game, which is weird. Though it's not, it's direct start, it still at least uses elements that will become the basis for the actual first game in Japan. Which became Super Mario. Don't worry, I always got this. Oh shit, maybe I don't. I just realized how much people I have to run through here. It's because I'm in a supply base? Oh shit, I just have a supply base. I'm guessing that's the one drawback of doing this mission if you're doing the other objective. I'm guessing what they want me to do, well, you know, I think once you reach a certain point, that's when Jin Jiao opens that secret pathway that leads straight to Hey Jin. Is it Hey Jin or He Jin? Oh, fuck me. Well, I fucked up. And now you get to see this computer Zhao Dun fight against these enemies here in the Battle of Hulao Gate. Well, I kind of proved to myself that sometimes thinking outside the box and trying to do a harder objective when you thought it was just as easy as the other objective goes on. Wow, real bad. Ugh. I couldn't get out of that battle anyways because once you're in an area, you're gridlocked to fighting in there until you complete it. At least to my knowledge. Well, that was embarrassing. Yeah, I probably should also say that if you choose a certain officer that has a relationship in some way of knowing with the officer you're playing, I think you get a boost. I don't know. Wow, this is embarrassing. Well, I didn't expect to just go out with a lose, really, but you know. Huh. I'm just so, like, surprised that happened. Oh well. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.